Oh, I like that. Day 19. Thank you guys for being here. I pray that your families and your homes and everything, it continues to be well and safe. Thank you guys for your patience as we've been dealing with the after effects of Hurricane Helene. Just know that we're working diligently to try to get the cable and the internet back. As I understand, most people have power and water, but we still have a few utilities that we're working on getting back. I want to remind everybody that early voting started today, so you can vote downstairs. Our democracy continues to move on. So if you have not voted, feel free to go downstairs and cast your ballot for the candidate of your choice. But we appreciate you being here. And with that, Madam Clerk, I call this meeting to order.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I call your attention to the invocation portion of our agenda, which will be shared with us today by Reverend Bruce Bias, Senior Pastor of the Good Samaritan Baptist Church. After which, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank
you. Greetings to our mayor, district commissioners, all those in position of public trust, as well as the citizens here of Augusta, Georgia. We want to thank you all for this opportunity as we pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you for the wonderful and precious opportunity to call upon your name. As those who are in positions of public trust are gathered, Lord, give them wisdom, give them compassion, give them insight as they lead our great city, dealing with the recovery as well as a clear direction moving forward as we deal with the loss, the concerns, the enrichment of this great city. We thank you now, Father, for your presence in this place. Give us unity. Let your peace fall upon us. And we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Bias, if you could just stand there. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it always encourages my heart when we're being prayed for, because the Bible teaches us to pray for those that are in authority, that you may do good. So thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come with us to pray. We appreciate your consideration, and we value your spiritual insights and guidance that you shared with us today. We receive your thoughtfulness as an act of service for God. Thank you so much. Love, peace for you and yours. Thank you. By these presents be it known that the Reverend Bruce Bias, Senior Pastor of the Good Samaritan Baptist Church, is chaplain of the day. May his spiritual guidance and civic leadership serve as an example for all citizens of Augusta. Given my hand this 15th day of October, 2024, Garnett L. Johnson, Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Reverend Bias, thank you so much. And on behalf of our city and this group of commissioners, please pass on our thanks for helping us distribute boxes on behalf of the community, on behalf of CEO Michael Thurman and DeKalb County government. Your church was very instrumental in helping with that distribution, and we appreciate it. Thank you. Madam Clerk, before we move forward, the district commissioner from the 8th has asked for a point of personal privilege. Chair recognizes Commissioner Brandon Garrett.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to make a short statement. After today, I'm stepping away for a short period to work through some issues that have affected my family and my spiritual and mental health. My family and I ask for your prayers and consideration for our privacy during this time. Wayne Guilfoyle will be here for all of District 8 constituents during this period, and I look forward to being able to come back soon to serve Augusta in the near future. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Garrett. We're praying for you. All right, Madam Clerk, let's continue.
Yes, sir. Call your attention to the recognition portion of our agenda. The Augusta Commission would like to offer its congratulations to our 2024 September Years of Service 25 to 50-year recipients. Ms. Anita Rookert, our HR Director, will make the presentations accordingly.
Good afternoon, Mayor Johnson, Commissioners, Administrator, and distinguished guests. Today, it gives us great excitement to recognize our September Years of Service recipients. For the month of September 2024, we had 24 employees celebrating 5 to 50 years of service with Augusta. This afternoon, we'd like to recognize our 25 to 50 years of service recipients. For the month of September, the total years of service and institutional knowledge being celebrated today is 395. Awesome. Yes, so when I call your name, please come forward. Mr. Brian Lewis, Civil Court, 30 years. Miss Cynthia Fluella, Sheriff's Office, 30 years. Donnell Conley, Parks and Recs, 35 years. Take your time, take your time.
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your service.
Thanks, sir. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay. Mr. Willie Anderson, Parks and Recs, 35 years.
Ain't no fun, it's the beginning of time.
Praise God.
Mr. Robert Riddle, Sheriff's Office, 40 years. Hold on. And certainly, a fantastic way to end the day, Miss Nancy Morowski, Clerk of Commission, 50 years of service. Congratulations to all of our years of service recipients. Thank you.
You
395 years. Thank you guys so much for your commitment and service to this great city. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the families that accompanied you, who's loaned you to this city for all these years. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, we done lost half our crowd. Can't believe they didn't want to hang around a little while.
We got plenty watching.
Okay, all right. Mr. Morowski, thank you so much. Is that Mr. Morowski with you? No. Okay. Mr. Key, thank y'all so much. All right, Madam Clerk. I think we're good and quiet. Now let's continue.
Okay. Our first delegation, item B, Ms. Naomi Goolsby, regarding 902 James Brown Veteran Cemetery, Mayor's Daily Budget, City Administrator, and Sunday liquor sales.
Thank you. Ms. Goolsby, are you here today? Come on down, madam. Thank you so much for being here. If you will, for the record, please state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Naomi Goolsby. I'm at 825 Spruce Street. I'm in Augusta, Georgia, 30901.
Thank you so much, madam. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, this is from my perspective. But 902 James Brown, this is at Des Next at, how do you say that? Because there's a 902 at Green Street and James Brown as well. But this is at Dias Park. And this is based on, I guess, a whiff of a rumor that some of the commissioners are saying that this building shouldn't be demoed for the reconstruction we would like at Dias Park because it was a historical building. But I had a conversation with Ryan Jones at the Historical Preservation Department. He said that the building has to be within a district that be historical. And this building is not in a historic district, so it can be demoed for what we're looking to, the renovations that we're looking for at Dias Park. Okay, the Veteran Cemetery, I'm gonna just give it to you like I heard it when I was sitting in the audience when the gentleman gave their presentation. I had a commissioner say he agreed with it. Another county had it, we want one. One commissioner said something about the cost, and then another commissioner said, yes, I agree, we should get it. But this is how my mind was in the audience. I'm searching the landscape of Augusta, and I'm looking for $1 million projects. Something to rival putting $13 million in a graveyard. So it just made me unsteady about the balance of the production in, or the renovations in Augusta. Also, the Mayor's Daily Budget, I'm not versed on this at all. And again, this is a whiff of a rumor. I'm not clear, not sure. But the statement that I have is the Mayor of Augusta, I don't believe, should have an unlimited daily personal spending budget. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of that at all. Also, my talking points were submitted before that Tuesday committee meeting, also before Helene. So I want to change this from administrator to the deputy administrator. I don't know about the person of procurement. I don't know about the person of finance, and I dare not even know anything about the administrator. But I do know that the deputy administrator who was brought on that Tuesday committee meeting, it was fired from Augusta in December 2013. And I believe that that decision in that committee meeting, to me, was disrespectful, to say the least, to the residents of Augusta who elected you all into these seats. That's my personal feeling. And also, I didn't know they were gonna put Sunday liquor sales. The Sunday liquor sales, I don't think it should be a thing, but if it is a thing, it should definitely be regulated within certain hours. That's all I have.
Ms. Goolsby, we really appreciate you coming today. I don't see any colleagues in the queue, but we appreciate it, and your information is received. Thank you so much. All right, Madam Clerk, does that conclude our delegation? All right, let's proceed on.
Okay. Call your attention to the consent portion of our agenda. If there are any objectors to any of the alcohol announcements, would you please signify your objections by raising your hand once the petition is read? Call your attention to item number 1. It's a request for an existing location, consumption on premise, liquor, beer, and wine license with Sunday sales to be used in connection with the location at 15 8th Street. Are there any objectors?
Any objectors? Seeing or hearing none, let's continue.
Item 2 is a request for a retail package, beer and wine license to be used in connection with the location at 2901 Mike Paget Highway. Are there any objectors?
Any objectors to this matter? Seeing or hearing none, let's continue.
Okay. Item number 3 is a request for a retail package, beer and wine license to be used in connection with 2762 Tobacco Road. Are there any objectors?
Any objectors to this matter? Seeing or hearing none, let's continue.
Item number 4 is a request for a retail package for beer and wine to be used in connection with the location at 3341 Deansbridge Road. Are there any objectors?
Any objectors to this matter? Seeing or hearing none, let's continue, Madam Clerk.
Item number 5 is a request for a retail package for beer and wine to be used in connection with the location at 1675 Olive Road. Are there any objectors?
Any objectors to this matter? Seeing or hearing none, let's continue.
Okay. Our consent agenda consists of items 1 through 12,
All right, Madam.
with no objectors to our alcohol petitions.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Do we have any addendums that we need to add?
Well, we need to accept the addendum agenda, and then you can.
You got it. All right. Chair recognizes Commissioner from the 5th, Commissioner Bobby Williams.
On the pool number 7. On the pool number 7.
Since you want to. Full 7. All right, pulling number 7. Chair recognizes Commissioner from the 6th, Commissioner Tony Lewis.
Mr. Mayor, the gentleman from the field has done what I was going to do.
All right, pull number 7. Commissioner Williams, you back in the queue?
I'm out.
You're out. Commissioner Sean Franham from the 7th.
I'd like to add agenda item number 13 to consent, please.
Number 13 is added. All right. Pulling 7, adding 13. Chair recognizes Commissioner from the 1st, Commissioner Jordan Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can we add the addendum items to the consent agenda?
Yes, sir. We have to have them read for the record, please.
Yes, sir, if there are no objections.
Are there any objections
Yeah, ask.
to the 4 addendum items that have been added? Hearing or seeing none? We're adding them. Madam Clerk, do we need to read these in for the record?
We can, sir.
Please, thank you.
Item number 1 is to approve an allocation of $2.5 million from the general fund balance to Fund 220 to provide for ancillary costs due to Hurricane Helene. Number 2 is to approve for emergency protective measures Hurricane Helene debris removal response contract services, 13 firms, and coordination support 1 firm to include any associated funding using general fund balance not to exceed $3.1 million. Item 3 is to approve the payment of essential employees as defined in the Augusta Inclement Weather Emergency Condition Administrative Rule, effective January 19, 2011, for employees that worked during the emergency period of September 28th through October 7th, 2024. Item number 4 is to approve the intergovernmental agreement between Augusta, Georgia and the city of Blythe, Georgia for debris removal. Items requested by Administrator Tamika Allen.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right. Commissioner Sean Franham from the 7th.
Motion to consent all 4 agenda items, just given.
There's a motion. Is there a second? There's a second.
It's Mr. Franham, are you doing the agenda?
Entire
to
agenda,
include-
yeah.
Okay,
Except number 7, so consent everything but number 7.
number 7, and with the consent of the addendum agenda.
So can we just add these 4 items to consent, and then we just vote for it, Madam Clerk? Do we have to vote separately for these
No, sir, you can vote for them as a whole.
as a whole? All right. All right, so I think we're ready to vote. Seeing no colleagues in the queue, that's to add the 4 addendum items. The only item that's been pulled is item 7. Let's vote, colleagues.
Ms. Scott? Okay. That motion carries with Mr. Mason out.
All right, I think this is item 7.
Item 7 is a motion to approve instructing the Planning and Development Department to review and offer amendments to the Historic Preservation Ordinance bylaws and guidelines as it pertains to appeals within 30 days and to consult with other historic preservation commissions in the state pertaining to their operations for comparison.
All right, Commissioner from the 5th, Commissioner Bobby Williams, the floor is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. I was trying to talk with Mr. Franum a little bit before the meeting. I didn't understand all that he was trying to tell me, so I want to ask him to give us some type of explanation as to what we're doing with that one. And I do want to say that I received several calls from several different people about this particular item. I would assume some other folks received some calls. The major thing that most people talked about is that they're saying that they didn't get to say anything about this particular item. So I don't know all the ins and outs, so I would ask Commissioner Franum to tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. As the agenda item reads, the HPC wouldn't have spoken before this anyway, because basically what this is giving the department head the authority to research other HPCs, bylaws, guidelines, as well as I'm sure going to have the discussion at their meeting on the what day it is. At that moment, I would think when she brings back the information, that's when the HPC would talk to us on their thoughts on what we're doing or not doing, because right now there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing been suggested. There's no changes. There's really nothing to talk about from an HPC standpoint, because nothing is brought before us for them to say yay, nay, or anything. So, I mean, it's a little bit cart before the horse of HPC wanting to talk, because all we're trying to do is see what other HPCs are doing across the state, and from an appeal standpoint, as well as other aspects of operation. And at the point when she was coming back, that's when I envisioned the HPC would be at this mic saying, well, actually, this is what we think, or this is what's going on, because there's nothing really to talk about yet.
Mr. Mayor, can we ask if there's anyone here who can kind of tell us what they feel about this?
Yes, sir. Is there a representative from the Historic Preservation Commission here? If you will, please come to the mic, sir. If you will, sir, for the record, please state your name and address.
Surely, Mr. Mayor. My name is Leon Mabin, and I live at 1306 11th Street. I'm in District 1.
All right, sir, you have the mic.
Good. To the contrary, once again, I am the chairman of the Richmond County Historic Preservation Commission. I am reading a prepared joint statement endorsed by HPC Commissioners McBrayer, Mabin, Anderson, Barbie, Conway, and also Historic Augusta. We are concerned that this matter move forward in our absence without discussion of any notification while the community was digging out from Hurricane Helene without water, power, internet, and telephone services. Presently, HPC has not been informed of any specific complaint that we have inappropriately delayed development after receiving a complete or compliant application. We have also not been advised that there has been a complaint from a specific applicant seeking a certificate of appropriateness, better known as a COA. The application process has become more difficult for applicants over recent years due to staffing issues with planning and development and staff failures to properly guide applicants through the process because of short staff. We want to inform the commission that altering the historic preservation ordinances places Augusta at risk of losing its certified government status, which would have a direct negative impact on development here in Augusta. The continuation of that status is essential to the continued revitalization of our historic community here in Augusta. We want to emphasize that Augusta's heritage is its most valuable asset. As the second oldest city in Georgia, Augusta needs to protect and balance its historic assets with development and revitalization if we wish to continue to grow like our neighboring cities with historic assets. We would appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with the Public Service Committee prior to this matter moving forward. In conclusion, we respectfully request that this particular agenda item be referred back to the Public Services Committee for further discussions and review. Once again, thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, for allowing us this time.
Thank you, Mr. Maven. Commissioner from the 5th, you still have the floor, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion. I know that Commissioner Franham, and I'm not saying that I'm for or against. I welcome more conversation when it comes to this. It sounds like a pretty good thing. Commissioner Franham just said he wants people to look at it, give an opinion about it, but I'm going to make a motion to refer it back to committee for more conversation, and then it may come forward and it may keep going. So the only thing I'm going to do right now is make a motion that we refer it back to committee.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second from the Commissioner from the 6th. I see Director Carlo Delaney. You want to come up and add any context to this? And I'm going to get back to Commissioner Franham here in just a second.
Ridiculous.
Good afternoon, everyone. So just in general, this is my first time hearing the statement also from the HPC. And based on what I have been able to ascertain in this situation, for the most part, the Planning and Development Department is the official representative for the historic preservation, for processing applications and things of that nature. We have had some challenges, of course, as any other department has, with some staffing, but we haven't been absent in this position. We have had someone working in this position and things of that nature. The biggest challenge sometimes for us is the misrepresentation that happens. When there is a complaint, the official complaint process is not the HPC. The complaint process is the Planning and Development Department. So if people are issuing or have concerns, they come to the department. Now, when you have members of boards that don't bring concerns or issues to the department, they disseminate information without verifying, checking with us, there can be a level of confusion. That's on any board, not just the HPC. So with that being said, there is no harm in doing a comparative analysis between what we do and what other HPCs do. And that's the end in the middle for us. We will do whatever this body determines, but I do want to make it clear that if there is information particularly about historic preservation, complaints, concerns, they are going to be filed and should be filed within the department. And the department should be given the opportunity to address the citizens, not a byproduct or someone else conveying messages. Because what ends up happening is when non-officials start disseminating this information, there is a slant in which it can be presented based on people's opinions, based on personal agendas, vendettas, things of that nature. We are to be the neutral party as a department, and we are that neutral party. And that's why we should be, and we are charged with disseminating the information.
Thank you, Director. Chair recognizes Commissioner Sean Franham from the 7th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Delaney, were you not going to bring this up at the meeting that you have with HBC? I mean, weren't you going to bring it up and discuss this?
Yes, I did. I actually sat down and with the group that showed, that did come, because this was added to the agenda. You know, when a commissioner adds something to the agenda, it comes out on Friday. So I learned about it. I came to the meeting. They were there, a group of them, our HBC members were there. I said, hey, whatever comes of this, I'm not going to just bring it back. I will make it a point to add it to the agenda and advertise it properly on the HPC meeting so that we can open the discussion and the dialogue about changes that also they would like to have. It's not a one-way street. It is a collaboration. But for the most part, anytime a department head needs to make revisions or recommends revisions, we have to come before the commission to get permission. This is permission. So if they want changes, meaning the HPC board members, if we want changes and the commission wants changes, we have to, at some point, get it on the agenda so we can have the discussion. I don't recommend moving this forward without having HPC at the table to help develop or review
Thank
potential
you.
revisions.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I'd like to make a substitute motion to approve.
Second.
All right, there's a substitute motion to approve and a second. All right, don't see any other colleagues in the queue. We'll let both sides talk. Madam Clerk, we're ready to vote. Substitute motion to approve item 7.
Yes, sir.
Clarity.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Johnson. on the
So
first.
we are clear that the HPC will be at the table with planning and development.
That is correct. We are clear.
All right. Are y'all prepared to appoint someone to that conversation?
That's HPC, Mr. Maben.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, come on, Commissioner Williams.
Okay, at the table, if we approve this or don't approve this?
If we approve this. From my understanding, HPC will be at the table if we approve this, and they've agreed to have a representative present along with our planning and zoning department, planning and development.
Okay, may I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Come on.
Mr. Maven? Yes, sir. Are you all good with that?
Let him come to the mic so we can have it on record, please.
If we approve it and somebody's at the table to
If
look
I-
at this?
Also, at the table, if it's okay with the body, I would love for Historic Augusta to be at the table also, because the three with the two, and then with planning and development, it takes all three. Yeah,
Of course.
it takes all three.
Mr. Montgomery, you good with that?
You good with that, Mr. Maven?
I am.
All right.
Okay, all right. So, Madam Clerk, there's a substitute motion to approve this agenda item. We're voting.
That motion carries. Mr. Mason absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Attorney Plunkett.
Mr. Mayor, we would ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending and potential litigation, real estate, and personnel.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second from Commissioner Catherine Smith McKnight. Madam Clerk, we're voting.
Mr. Garrett.
Need to vote. Hey, wait on you to vote.
That motion carries.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now suspended to executive session. You're more than welcome to stay. But otherwise, thank you guys for being here. Reverend, again, thank you on behalf of the community. Reverend, thank you so much, okay? Thank you. Madam Clerk, call this meeting back to order. Attorney Plunkett.
Mr. Mayor, we would ask for a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the closed meeting affidavit.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We're voting, Madam Clerk. Commissioner Catherine Smith McKnight.
Why are you gonna do that to us? Like you ain't got stuff to do too. Come on now. I mean, don't act like you ain't got nothing to do.
That motion carries
Waiting on me to be there at 4 o'clock.
with Mr. Mason, Mr. Bobby Williams, Mr. Brandon Garrett out.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Attorney Plunkett, are there any motions as a result of our closed executive session?
Yes, sir. We would request a motion to approve a 4-year contract with Tamika Allen as the administrator of Augusta at an annual salary of $230,000 with a car allowance of $7,200 a year, deferred compensation, and such other benefits consistent with the position of administrator.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion from Commissioner from the third, second from Commissioner Franham. No other colleagues in the queue. We're voting, Madam Clerk.
That motion carries with Mr. Mason, Mr. Bobby Williams, and Mr. Brandon Garrett out.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Attorney Plunkett.
We would request a motion to ratify or to approve a severance and release agreement with Donna Williams with 6 months salary continuation and credit for 10 years service for retirement purposes, and to authorize the mayor to execute such agreement on behalf of Augusta.
So moved.
There's a motion.
Second.
There's a second. Madam Clerk, we're voting.
That motion carries. Mr. Mason, Mr. Bobby Williams, and Mr. Brandon Garrett out.
Attorney Plunkett.
Mr. Mayor, we would request a motion to approve a severance and release agreement with Jerry Sams for 6 months of salary continuation and credit for 10 years of service for retirement purposes, and to authorize the mayor to execute such agreement on behalf of Augusta.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, we're voting.
It was Mr. Franham.
Yes.
That motion carries. Mr. Mason, Mr. Bobby Williams, and Mr. Brandon Garrett out.
Attorney Plunkett, does that conclude our motions for today?
That does.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, I think that concludes our business. Oh, I see Commissioner Jordan Johnson from the first. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to see if we can take a quick second now that we have a contracted administrator to officially congratulate her and welcome her as our city administrator.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Have a great day, and remember, if you haven't voted, go vote.